Yeah.
Okay, here's one question. Chantel Pulsma says, what if you don't want to invest in oil due to ethics? All the power to you, I would say. Is like I said, it's not a recommendation about which industries you should invest in. I think it's within ESG, which is environmental social governance, kind of a broad-based term. It's important to recognize the limitations of that term because a lot of people, there are oil and gas companies that are classified as ESG, so take that with a grain of salt. But you should invest in areas that you feel comfortable in, that you have if you're buying individual stocks, that you have a core competence and understanding and things like that. So there's other opportunities in the stock market. And it's kind of like what I said earlier, that our company, for example, weights between different industries. We don't go all in on oil and gas, or we don't go all in on tech. There's plenty of opportunity in the stock market. It's not just within singular industries. So if you don't want to invest in a certain sector, all the power to you. That's your own money. That's a free market, baby. To put your money where you want to.
And there's still a lot of opportunity in renewables as well, right? Like solar
Absolutely.
panels, heat pumps are super hot.
Yeah, and renewable utilities. There's all kinds of companies, and if you even within oil and gas, you might not like that sector. There are companies again that have an ESG label. Companies that might have there are companies that have net negative carbon emissions, where at the very least they either through investment, the purchase of carbon credits or whatever have you, offset the majority of their production or more than what they produce in an attempt to be a green company. So there's a lot of room within that framework if you still want to take advantage of that, but have this ethical dilemma, if you will. Invest where you want to. Invest, and I think it's important to invest in where you have values, because otherwise you're kind of just speculating, really, right? If you want to invest in something for the long term, but you don't believe in it ethically, you're kind of not really believing in that company. And I think one way to reconcile ethics with investing, because I know a lot of people, they take a very cold-hearted capitalist approach of, well, if it makes money, like, who cares? At the end of the day, you can have your ethics and I'll have my money. I think ethics are actually important to consider in the sense that it's a risk to a company, just like the super majors are showing us. If investors believe that something is unethical, they might pull investor money from that company. And that will have a real fundamental impact on that business, even though they're making money. So I think you can consider ethics in your investment framework from a risk side of things of, if something's unethical, it's actually a higher risk position, in my opinion, not just because of investor pulling back money. You might see regulation. Certainly with oil and gas, that's been a big headwind for some companies. So there's certainly ways you can reconcile that, but absolutely, you don't need to. You don't have to invest in oil and gas.